My name is David Wortley, and I'm the owner and founder of a small information and communications technology company called MyTech. We are based in a tiny village on the outskirts of Market Harborough in rural Leicestershire. This webcast video is about a new communications revolution which is affecting the lives of people across the whole world. That revolution is the Internet. And here in Market Harborough we have a vision to harness that revolution to the benefit of the whole community. We're working on a project called ComKnet, Community Commerce and Knowledge Network, and we are following in the footsteps of a former resident of Market Harborough. Market Harborough is many people's idea of a sleepy market town, and yet it was the birthplace of an idea which still affects the lives of millions of people throughout the world today. I'm standing outside the Thomas Cook Travel Shop in St Mary's Place, Market Harborough, and here package holidays to exotic and not so exotic locations throughout the world are sold almost every day. Many of you will have been on a package holiday, and yet you've probably never given a second thought to how it all began. The answer is that it all began here in Market Harborough, within 200 yards of the Thomas Cook Travel Shop in a tiny alleyway called Quaker's Yard. In the early 1840s there was a revolution taking place. A new technology called steam power had spawned a new communications network which had spread across the whole of the UK. That network was the railways. And it was a flash of inspiration in 1841 which led Thomas Cook to organise the world's first railway excursion. And this saw 600 people travel by train to a temperance meeting in a park in Loughborough. Within a few years, Thomas Cook and his son, John Mason Cook, were organising travel to foreign lands. Now, over 150 years later, at the start of a new millennium, a new communications network is sweeping across the land. That network is the Internet. And, like the railways in their day, it has the power to transport people to new places and new experiences. The village of Husbands Bosworth is just 7 miles west of Market Harborough. In the Turville Memorial Hall, the local Member of Parliament is holding a Saturday morning surgery.
My name is Edward Garnier and I'm the Member of Parliament for Harborough. I have a very large and diverse constituency, but at the heart of it is Market Harborough. This means that my constituents have long distances to travel, both to see each other but also to come and see me. It seems to me that the revolution in information and communication technology is going to make life much easier for them, not only to make contact with me, but also so that they can more easily do business with each other, indeed throughout the whole world. This project, I hope, will put Market Harborough right on the centre of the world map as a place where the e-revolution has really taken hold.
Throughout the world there are millions of people working at the heart of community life. Diana Cook is one such person. She is employed by the Leicestershire and Rutland Rural Community Council.
The rural villages of the Welland Valley have seen the railways come and go. Take the home of MyTech here in Lubbenham, where from around 1880 to 1966 there was a railway station in the village which gave the opportunity to travel anywhere between Peterborough, Leicester, Rugby, Market Harborough and Coventry for work or pleasure. This mode of transport for the villagers was overtaken by the age of the car. The station closed down and over the next decade traffic increased. Village appraisals are being carried out with the help of the Leicestershire and Rutland Rural Community Council in a number of villages around Market Harborough. The appraisals have identified that more recently these same communities have experienced more and more erosion as rural services disappear. We've come to rely on the motor car to get us to our place of work, to take us to our social events, to get us to healthcare facilities and allow us to do our shopping. Not everyone has a car, and therefore access to information and services becomes more difficult for them. Now comes this new opportunity, the ICT revolution. The Internet will bring them in touch with an even wider community, the world. Whatever our age or mobility or wherever we live, we can be a part of this revolution. We don't need a license to drive a computer.
Even within a sleepy town like Market Harborough, there are organisations at the forefront of the technological revolution.
Hello, I'm Philip Deering, Chief Executive of Market Harborough Building Society. Market Harborough, doesn't just the name of the town itself evoke memories of a bygone era? Cloudless blue skies, cobbled streets, local tea shops, a thriving market, and of course a very cheery good day from the local postman and the milkman. Happy days. But of course some things haven't really changed in Market Harborough. The sun still shines on the town. We still have those local tea shops, albeit complemented by wine bars and bistros these days. And we still have very cheery greetings from our local tradespeople. But what has changed fundamentally is the attitude of some local businesses to the e-commerce revolution.
Market Harborough Building Society has been providing a safe place for savings and mortgages since 1870, and it is recognised throughout the two counties of Leicestershire and Northamptonshire as providing a personal, friendly and efficient service. It remains a mutual organisation, returning benefits to the local communities it serves. But although the Society only provides traditional building society goods and services, Market Harborough is at the very forefront of product innovation and marketing via the World Wide Web. Just 4 years ago, Market Harborough was only the second society to set up its own website, and in 1999 it became the first and remains one of the few building societies to have an online application form and tracking system, enabling our customers to apply for their home loans and check the progress of that application via the internet.
Sounds good so far? Well, let me tell you that it really works. In January this year, 30% of our mortgage business came via the internet, making it by far the fastest growing distribution channel in the Society's history, and enabling the name of Market Harborough to be associated with more than just bygone times, but more an example of how one small business in one small town can harness the power of the communications revolution and remain true to its principal objectives of being a mutual organisation in business for the benefit of everyone.
The village of Kibworth is midway between Market Harborough and Leicester, and it was here that Thomas Cook paused as he walked the 15 miles to a temperance meeting on that fateful day in 1841. Over 150 years later, the communications revolution of today is proving that you don't need to be a large organisation with huge resources to be able to trade internationally.
Hello, my name is Mary Gildy. I live and work in the village of Kibworth near Market Harborough. I am self-employed and run my own business from home as a distributor for a nutritional company. My work involves promoting natural products to people and in doing so giving them the opportunity to build a business of their own. In Thomas Cook's day, it would have been unheard of for a woman to be running her own business, let alone being able to travel all over the world. But today, technology brings us the freedom to be in more control of our destinies. In my case, the internet and email have opened up exciting new avenues which are helping me to build a thriving business, not just here in my own community, but internationally as well. I have my own website which promotes the nutritional products and the business opportunity, and have recently had inquiries from America and Germany. In Norway, I have already established the business to over 1,000 people, which is expanding into Denmark and Sweden. None of this would have been possible without the communications technology I'm using today, but I am certain that Thomas Cook would have been just as enthusiastic and visionary about the internet as he was about the railway network in the 1840s.
Business leaders in the Harbour district, often from long-established companies, have woken up to the benefits of the internet as a means of providing competitive advantage.
Hi, I'm James Briggs, Managing Director at Harbour Rubber Company. The internet has had quite an impact here. One of the values of the internet is being able to access information worldwide. There's always been a cartel operating in the chemical industry for rubber, and we've had difficulty improving prices. Last year I was able to go on the internet and identify sources of materials from all over the world. As a result, we saved £150,000. It took only an hour on the internet to identify those sources. We're working with people around the world through the internet. For example, on this indicator, I've worked on as a project with someone in the USA who I have never met and never talked to on the telephone. The internet is a powerful tool. It creates open markets and a level playing field more than any European legislation will ever do.
Education and lifelong learning will be vital areas where the new information and communications technologies will have a major impact. The Robert Smythe School is a long-established former county grammar school with a great tradition.
Established 400 years ago by a local boy made good, the Robert Smythe School still beats with the heart of the mission of its benefactor, to prepare the young people of the Harborough area for life, work and lifelong learning. Recognising ICT's growing importance in the workplace and its significance in commerce and communications, the school has invested significant funds from central and local government, local sponsors and its own resources, extending its ICT facilities by 500% in the 18 months it has been a technology college, all with the aim of raising the standard of student achievement. As students use ICT in their learning, we believe that they grasp the potential of ICT for their own and society's future, as well as developing their own skills. The question for us is not just, where do you want to go today, but where will the young people of today need to go in the future? A question which spurs us on into the pioneering use of new educational technology and constantly challenges our skills as teachers and educators.
The East Midlands as a region has pledged to become pioneers in the application of information and communications technology. But because the region is a heterogeneous mix of diverse communities, technology has to be able to harness a rich variety of talents.
Hello, I'm Sue Otter. I live in North Kilworth and I'm the Head of Skills for the East Midlands Regional Development Agency. My responsibility is to look at skills issues for everyone who lives in the region. And I'm particularly concerned about people at work, and I'm particularly concerned that a lot of their skills don't actually match up to the requirements of the businesses they work in. There's quite a substantial skills deficit that affects 35-year-olds in work, and a lot of the skills deficit is to do with IT issues. A lot of it's to do with people not having access. A lot of it's concerned with people who are scared of getting into IT work. Lots of it's also people who see a computer as something that maybe is for more use for their children or more use for basic learning, and not as a tool that can help them work more effectively. And I'm very keen that we integrate IT into the Skills Action Plan, and we have the Skills Action Plan in a very IT conscious format on a mini CD-ROM, and also that EMDA's new skills strategy ties in with our regional IT strategy.
The technologies for publishing information have undergone rapid changes over recent years, making it increasingly affordable for local people to publish in many forms of media. One company with a strong commitment to local publishing in the Harborough district is Troubadour Publishing, who are based in Manor Walk.
It seems only natural that Troubadour Publishing should be involved within the ComKnet project. Through our innovative publishing programme, we give local authors a way of reaching their community and beyond. But Troubadour is an international company in addition, which embraces the best of modern technology. Using a virtual office concept, we communicate with the world on a daily basis, acting as a focus for those developing the next generation of communications technologies. Here at Troubadour we also carry out work for a wide range of companies, large and small. Producing any sort of publication to a high standard is a complex and skilled process, and one which developments in technology is constantly changing. We can produce anything from a leaflet to a full-colour book, for clients who are just around the corner to those who are in the Far East or North America. Technology has and continues to revolutionise the publishing process, making quality publishing economical on a far smaller scale than ever before. Thomas Cook fully recognised the need for effective publicity to realise his dreams, and here at Troubadour we share that vision.
Local newspapers are at the heart of community life, serving an invaluable role in keeping local people up to date with news, events and information.
My name's David Granger. I'm the Deputy Editor of the Harborough Mail. It's a weekly paper that's been covering and reporting on South East Leicestershire and North Northamptonshire since 1854. We started out as the Market Harborough Advertiser and Midland Mail, rather large, cumbersome broadsheet. And through the years we've slimmed down slightly in page size, coming to the tabloid form, and we've changed our name as well with the Harborough Mail now, but the same values still apply. And since 1854 it's always been the same medium. It's been on paper, it's been from hot metal through to the latest desktop publishing, until last year when we developed the Harborough Mail website, Harborough Mail Online. It was a departure for a newspaper which is nearly 125 years old, and it was the first time we'd ever been produced on a new medium. What we do is we cut each week the 10 best stories from the newspaper and put them on the web. What we hope to do is to complement rather than compete with the newspaper, and offer perhaps a daily information service, so people see us still as the basics, as the centre of information for Market Harborough.
One of the ComKnet consortium partners, the Leicester Mercury, has a vital role to play in using technology to strengthen the local community. Babita Ratur of the Mercury talks about the impact of technology on their business.
Access to information has shaped our past. The invention of the printing press was a turning point in history, not just in it providing information, but in driving improvements in literacy and education. Over the last century, radio broadcasting, the birth of television and the explosion of niche magazines brought choice and variety tailored to suit a myriad of interests. Leicestershire has led the way in many of these new information fields. One of the oldest surviving local newspapers exists in Rutland, and one of the first commercial radio stations was launched in the county. Underpinning this, our local newspapers enjoy a heritage of trust and community involvement that provides a firm foundation for the future, and what a future it promises to be. The internet has already grown exponentially the quantity of information that is accessible to anyone within reach of a PC and modem. The penetration of touchscreen kiosks and mobile devices capable of providing relevant information wherever you are is set to explode. Rural communities that have so often been disadvantaged by communication links in the past can now compete on a level playing field with the most vibrant and prosperous urban areas across the world. We are limited only by our imagination. But in this brave new interactive world, it is reassuring to have some familiar points of reference. This is why our familiar media companies are determined to secure investment locally to ensure that the people we have served for over a century can secure a bright and prosperous future in the information society.
It isn't just people in Market Harborough who have a vision about technology being used to develop communities. For some time now, the government has been working on a policy to make information technology accessible to everyone in society.
Hello, my name is Alex Allen and I'm the government's e-envoy, and my role is to ensure that the new information and communications technologies are accessible to everyone in our society. And these are exciting times, times when you can order almost anything you want from any part of the world. But it's also easy to forget sometimes that we're all part of local communities, and that the quality of our lives and the services we enjoy depends crucially on our ability to attract and retain the wealth within the local economy. Projects like Harborough ComKnet are designed to harness those skills and talents in the community to build its own social and economic wealth. And by making these new technologies widely accessible, you can create local jobs for local people. And by discovering the skills and talents of your neighbours, you can open up trading opportunities within the community. You can develop new commercial partnerships which will attract business from outside the community. The success of your project will depend on fostering this new community culture in which you best serve your own interests by developing the potential of all those around you, communicating, sharing, networking. And the webcast technology you're witnessing here is just one example of the way you can be part of a community building process. So I very much welcome this initiative to make the Harborough district the birthplace of a new communications revolution, very much in the spirit of one of your former inhabitants, Thomas Cook.
Throughout this video you will have seen and heard from many local people talking about how the internet revolution will transform their lives and businesses in the new millennium. The ComKnet project is undoubtedly an ambitious one, but we hope that, like Thomas Cook in his day with the communications revolution of the 1840s, the Market Harborough will once play a part again in transforming the lives of people throughout the world.